Hello, dear friends. I'm Marina from MarsStars.net, and this is the weekly horoscope for the week of January the 7th. Before we dive into our next week interpretation, let me remind you we have a solar eclipse on the 5th of January. And for this, I made the whole webinar about the eclipse, a meditation, and other interesting stuff. And also, we have started our Eclipses marathon. The first 4 days are free, so all you have to do is just check the links below the video. You will find our Facebook group, so please, you're welcome to join us if you would like to transform your life and really do the best that you can using the energy of those eclipses that we have during January. Now, let's move to next week. Let me share my screen so that you can see the stuff we are going to discuss. First of all, on the 7th, which means on Monday, we have Venus in Sagittarius. Very exciting, very positive position. By the way, we have a couple of interesting stuff during this week, which are, well, quite intense, quite significant. So generally, we can say the week can bring incredible shifts. First of all, as I said, Venus enters Sagittarius on Monday. Very positive position, a transition which can bring relief, especially on an emotional level. Recently, we had Venus in Scorpio for a very long time. If you remember, Venus was also retrograde in Scorpio. So it's time for relief. Venus in Scorpio is not feeling well. This is not the right place for Venus. And now that this has changed, now that Venus is in Sagittarius, we may feel emotional relief. We may feel lighter. The emotional atmosphere might be more positive. We might be more enthusiastic. It may also be easier to express your feelings, to express your emotions, especially when it comes to relationship stuff, to partnerships. We can be more enthusiastic, more open towards others, more optimistic about our future, and also ready for some experiments. Sagittarius is a sign which really enjoys adventures. So it's time for changes in your relationship, in your attitude towards partners. Something positive might happen, something exciting, something great. And I think that it's also very important that when Venus enters Sagittarius, it's getting really close to Jupiter. You can see Jupiter is almost at the middle of Sagittarius, currently on the 14th degree. So during the next couple of weeks, Venus is getting closer to Jupiter. At some point, of course, they will make exact conjunction, which is one of the most beneficial combinations. One of those events which can really bring you new opportunities and growth and emotional fulfillment, and basically great combination because we have the two benefactors together. So we are not there yet, but it's getting closer and closer to that point. And after Monday, after the 7th of January, Venus and Jupiter will be in the same sign. So on certain level, it's already happening in some way. When the planets are in the same signs, they are starting to mix their energies in some way. So great opportunities, great emotions, optimism, and adventures, and as I said, lighter emotions. Next, we have another aspect, the exact major aspect, but this time we're talking about something challenging. On the 8th, which is Tuesday, we have Mercury squaring Mars. Challenging aspect, especially when it comes to communication, how you express yourself, your ideas, your thoughts. Of course, all kinds of negotiations, even trips or document stuff which are related to Mercury might be affected. So Pay extra attention to the details. Don't be impatient. Don't rush things too much. Keep in mind, Mars here is extremely strong. Mars is in Aries, which means that the energy is even more intense, which means we might be even more impatient, even more, rushing things. It's possible also that the aspect may bring some kind of verbal aggression, or people might be too harsh, or they may say things which, well, they not really think, but it's just an impulsive reaction. So watch your mouth, watch your words, watch how you express yourself, because later you might regret if you don't treat people in the right way. So this is an aspect that we should be careful with. The next really important aspect on the 11th, which is Friday, we have an exact conjunction between the Sun and Pluto in Capricorn, basically on the 21st degree. So from one side, the aspect might be very empowering, can bring you incredible strength, increased motivation, and also increased confidence to fight with circumstances, with challenges, to overcome things. At the same time, the aspect may bring some kind of manipulation, some kind of power struggle. So be extra careful with this intense energy. Also, Pluto sometimes can make us really obsessed about things, really, so focused on something that we may forget about the other stuff. So be more cautious during this aspect, during this day. Also, sometimes the aspect may bring, critical situations, which are quite challenging and difficult. But on the positive side, the conjunction may also bring great opportunities for transformation, wonderful aspect also for some energy practices. So if you experience this tension, some kind of anxiety or even fears, sometimes Pluto unfortunately can bring fears. One of the best ways to handle with this energy is through some kind of energy practices. Something like yoga, something like, the Eastern fighting techniques and, those stuff. They're also Pluto related. So use this and it will really help you to channel Pluto's energy in a more constructive direction, not so challenging personally for you. And another conjunction, look how many stuff we're having this week. On Sunday, on the 13th, we have Mercury together with Saturn. Interesting aspect, of course, because every conjunction is important. The conjunctions are the most important aspects. We have two planetary energies mixing together, creating something new, something different. And first of all, Pluto is the dominant planet here, which means that we may feel too serious. We may think too serious about certain things. We might be also kind of stuck sometimes in terms of our ideas. We might be too focused on the past, for example, but the aspect is also great for logical stuff, for business ideas, for planning things, for being more precise, being more accurate, especially for work. And even though it's Sunday, I know that many people use this time to prepare for next week, to make some plans, especially those who work on their own. This is an aspect which may really help you to focus on concrete stuff, concrete decisions, concrete ideas, to apply them, to be more oriented on practical solutions, I would say. Now, in terms of communication with people, the aspect may suppress those things. So people may experience some kind of trust issues because of this aspect. They may not be willing to reveal their ideas. Also, unfortunately, the aspect sometimes may bring fears or worries or doubts. So basically, with hard work, I think that we can overcome this. Also, try to increase your competence, to improve your skills. This may really help you to gain the needed confidence and to handle with Saturn and the strong Capricorn energy. Okay, so these are the important major aspects for the week. As I already said, we are after the solar eclipse, which means that during the whole week, the moon is in the first phase. This is a great time for new stuff, for trying new things, for experimenting. The energy is more focused on an outer level. So that's why a great time for new projects, new initiatives, taking some risks, whether it would be at work or for some kind of, personal projects. For different people, of course, this might be different. But generally, use the time to create something, to start something, especially on Saturday and Sunday. When the moon will be in Aries, actually you might be extremely motivated to take action, to do things, to be really enthusiastic about stuff. Before that, let me see. Actually, let's check here. So the second half of the 9th, which is Wednesday. So the second half of Wednesday and also Thursday and Friday. The moon is in Pisces. So during those days, the energy is a little bit lower. And when I say the energy, I mean when it comes to creating something or doing something which requires physical efforts and lots of energy, this is not the best time. It's a great time for creativity, for inspiring activities and projects, for taking a rest, slowing down, paying more attention to your imagination as well. So there's a big shift from Friday and Saturday. So you may feel like, things are changing. But generally, after the solar eclipse, things are starting fresh in a way. Of course, it's very important in which house was the solar eclipse in your horoscope. You may check that on your own. If you need support, of course, you can always contact me from the stuff below the video, all kinds of links and those things. So I think that's the most important. That's the general information about the week. Very intense week, I would say, with lots of shifts, with lots of important major aspects. One more thing also, which I forgot, on Sunday, the 13th, we have an exact square between Jupiter and Neptune. This is very significant because the aspect affects us not specifically only on Sunday, but we know that we have an orbit, and with those slow moving planets, the impact is longer. So I would say we can feel that during the whole week and even during the next week. And the aspect may bring some kind of confusions or some kind of illusions which may fall apart. That's the challenging side of Neptune. Neptune is very strong. Now, keep in mind something else. Jupiter and Neptune are both ruling those two signs, Pisces and Sagittarius. You may know that Jupiter is considered to be the old ruler of Pisces. Together with Neptune, they both rule Pisces. But also after Neptune was found, it's considered that it rules not only Pisces, but also this is a second rule of Sagittarius. So both of the planets, both Jupiter and Neptune, are ruling those same signs, Sagittarius and Pisces, and they are extremely powerful in those positions. So from one side, we might be extremely creative. Spiritual stuff might be very important. Imagination might be very bright, very creative. Also, for spiritual things, whether this would be religion or your meditation practice or your beliefs, this is a time for a shift. This is a time for maybe putting effort in this direction, being more motivated. and setting free from things which don't work, things which are not accurate, which are not the right for you. Here I want to remind you something, that the challenging aspects, which are, so-called challenging aspects, squares and oppositions, they are not necessarily bad. They bring even more intense energy, which, if used correctly, actually can bring you higher results. So, if you're more inspired, if you're more creative, you may actually have the needed energy to apply all of that, to set free, to release the unnecessary, and to focus on the right things. So the week is very intense, very interesting. I promise you that. And now I think that we have covered the most important stuff. Don't forget to join our Eclipses Marathon. It started on the 5th of January. The first 4 days are completely free, and it will last until the 3rd of February. So basically, we're covering the 2 eclipses on the 5th and the 21st of January. There will be lots of practices and rituals and meditations and so many stuff which can completely transform your life. So just check with us and you will notice how this can transform your life. If you like it, you can join for the whole version. The links for all of that are below the video. So thank you very much, guys, for joining me. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know, how do you feel during the week, how you expect things to unfold for you. How do you feel after the eclipse? Is there some kind of tension, or you're more motivated and inspired? I'm really interested to hear all of that. So thank you very much again. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you really soon.